Hello, I'm Ryan F9, and this is the new Insta360 X5. To celebrate its launch, they've invited me to say whatever I think about it, good and bad. Bold move. The X series has historically been the best action camera for motorcycling. You should not take my word for that. Insta360 sponsors our videos. But if you look back at old Fortnite videos, you'll notice that we've been buying and using these cameras for years before we chose Insta360 as a sponsor. Everyone knows having the whole world in footage lets you reframe on anything in post. It also enables unmatched flow state stabilization since there are unlimited margins for digitally keeping things steady. But we've always felt the cost of that. See, each 180-degree lens refracts a round image onto a square sensor, meaning there's always wasted sensor space that doesn't receive any light. To prove this, you just need a dark road. So I went to Portugal, where it's currently nighttime and also thunderstorming. Look, the footage is quite grainy until we get that burst of light. So Insta360 did two things. First, they simply enlarged the sensor from a 1/2 inch to 1.28. That doesn't solve the round peg in a square hole conundrum, but it does simply receive 144% more light. Then they added two new imaging chips alongside the 5nm AI one, tripling the computing hardware versus X4. And why does a camera need computing power? Because at night you get shot noise, random variations in the number of photons hitting each pixel, and that can be averaged away as long as you have a camera with enough chips to run algorithms in real time. Insta360 calls this AI pure video mode. And sure enough, one picture says 1,000 bad words, while the other is speechless. But there's another common complaint with these. See, Insta360 advertises them as 8K cameras, which makes people expect to be able to count the hairs up my nose in every frame. But, well, that does not feel like 8K to me. Is Insta360 lying to us? Well, yes, but mostly no. It is an 8K image. We have 50 terabytes of footage that attest to the file size. But again, there's a technicality of 360-degree video at play. When you wrap a globe onto a flat sensor, the surfaces don't contact one-to-one. Some parts of the image are compressed onto a few pixels, while other parts are stretched across many. It's called a TISO indicatrix of pixel density. You might know it as the equirectangular globe distortion. Or for alternative IQs, NASA's big lie, but however you feel about spheres, I promise the outcome is the same. I even went to Australia, where everything is upside down and/or flat, and indeed, those pixel artifacts are still not great. Sorry, Insta. But again, the X5 has a solution, super sampling. It actually takes the image in 11K, the AI chip reads the color in multiple neighboring places, then delivers the average into one 8K pixel. To be fair, the X4 did this too, but with its lonely single chip, it did it much worse. Another thing the X4 does badly is heat sinking. There's a lot of screen here, a lot of exothermic computing power, and if you run it for a long time on a warm day, the complaint is that it'll cook itself down. So I went to Bangkok, where it's 40 degrees and stopped traffic. Sure enough, after a few minutes, Insta360 did make it right by inventing and giving away this curvy shell for a profitless $20. See, all these angles increase the surface area and shed more heat, which is fine, but on the X5, they simply built that design into the shell. It's better. The other thing you'll notice here is that we now have a microphone muff. Insta360 calls it a wind guard. It's basically some foam underneath a steel mesh so you don't get the wind buffeting all over your microphone. And they've had this on the Ace Pro 2 for a while, which is handy, if not that impressive, since a fluffy and some tape will also do the job. But on the X series, it's legitimately solid engineering. Anything stuck externally would be a big black mark on the bottom of your shot. So Insta360 had to build the X5's muff inside and flush to the form. There's one other big difference between these two cameras, but first Insta360 would want me to mention a bunch of the little ones. Let's see if we can make them regret that decision. Battery life is up to 185 minutes from 135, big whoop, nothing good ever took longer than 11 minutes, giggity. The X5 can now take the magnetic quick mount, which I never recommend. We avoid using these since the rubber inevitably packs in and leaves room for vibration in your shot. To be fair, the plastic quick mount from Ace Pro 2 also fits, and that one is perfectly snug. Another small thing, the camera now has Insta-frame mode. Basically, I can tell it to record a flat MP4 file looking forward, rearward, up, or down on top of the 360 footage. I'm still logging everything if I want to jump into the editor later, I just also get this fast POV as a ready-to-share video. This is actually low-key handy, so I built Insta360 a trip to Florida to get this shot. And yeah, the active HDR can now take 5.7K at 60 frames per second instead of 30, but high dynamic range is really only useful for pulling colors out of extreme light and shadow, like these Yukon larches I just sent Insta360 the invoice for. So, that was an expensive and awkward section for our sponsor, which I hope adds some credibility to this last point. Replaceable lenses. You can now use this little $35 toolkit to pop a scratched lens off, clean the debris, and make it like new.
Wow, like new.
Whereas the old one just had lens guards, which were bulky, required annoying stitching resetting, and cost some light to the already light-hungry camera. I much prefer the new system. On anything that you're gonna use outboard, on an inherently fast and tippy vehicle, the lenses will be consumable and ought to be treated as such. And that's actually the main reason why I think the X5 is the new top dog of motorcycle action cams. And click the link below if you want to check it out, but please don't buy anything that you don't need, and definitely don't buy it because my biased ass said so. In fact, the only way I could be objective here is if I went to India, where scraping lenses against other road users is a universal fact of life.